Welcome back to Learn English Road. In today's episode, 70 Idioms in One Story, Part 6. We'll continue our emotional journey through a touching story filled with emotion, hope, and love. Through this story, you'll not only feel the heart of a young woman discovering a life-changing secret, but you'll also learn idioms and context in a way you'll never forget. So sit back, relax, and let's step once again into the world of words and emotions, where English comes alive through storytelling. Let's begin.
The Secret of Real Love, Part 1, The Discovery and the Departure. When I was a little girl, I thought my world was perfect. My father used to lift me up and say, "You're my little diamond." My mother would laugh softly and kiss my forehead. Our house was small, but it was always filled with love, or at least I believed it was. We lived in a quiet neighborhood where everyone knew everyone's business. I was never the cool cat who had all the friends, but I was happy. My parents were my best friends. They supported me, even when I was being a little nutty as a fruitcake, dreaming of becoming a writer when I could barely spell beautiful. Mom always said, "Take it easy, sweetie. Good things take time," and I did. I trusted them with all my heart. When I turned 24, things began to ring a bell, little things I had ignored before. My mom would sometimes avoid questions about my birth. My dad always changed the topic when I asked about my baby pictures. And every time I tried to look at the old family documents, Mom would say, "Oh, honey, those are under repair," and quickly put them under wraps. I didn't think much of it at first. Everyone has secrets, right? But one day, while cleaning the attic, I found a small wooden box hidden behind old books. It had my name written on it, Lily. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside were letters, hospital papers, and a birth certificate that didn't have my mother's name. At that moment, my heart started jumping out of my skin. I whispered, "What is this?" But there was no one to answer. The truth was standing right there, written in black and white. I was not their real daughter. I sat on the cold attic floor, staring at the paper. I felt as if the whole world had turned upside down. Everything I believed in, my childhood, my love, my identity, had been a lie. When my mother came home, I couldn't hold it in anymore. "Who am I?" I asked. Her face went pale, she froze, and I knew instantly. She knew exactly what I was talking about. "Lily, let's sit down," she whispered. But I couldn't take it easy. My voice shook. "Tell me the truth. Why did you lie to me all these years?" Tears filled her eyes. "We wanted to protect you. You were abandoned at the hospital. You were so small, so fragile. The nurse said you almost didn't make it, saved by the skin of your teeth. We adopted you and loved you as our own." That was the moment my world fell apart. Her words hit me like thunder. Loved me as their own, but my heart refused to accept it. My mind was spinning. The walls seemed to close in. I felt like a fish out of water, trapped between love and lies. "So all these years," I whispered, "everything was a lie?" My mother reached for me. "No, sweetheart. Everything was love." "You should have told me," I shouted. "You had no right to play your cards so close to your chest. Do you know how humiliating this feels? To live a lie for 24 years? Mom reached out her trembling hand. "Sweetheart, we thought you'd never need to know. We wanted you to have a clean bill of health, a new start, a happy life. But those words didn't comfort me. They only took the wind out of my sails. I felt stabbed in the back by the two people I trusted most. I ran to my room, tears blurring my vision. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing their voices downstairs, whispering, crying, but my heart was torn in two. One part wanted to forgive them. The other wanted to run away and never look back. By morning, my pillow was wet with tears. I packed a small bag, trying to keep a stiff upper lip, but my hands were shaking. My father knocked softly. "Where are you going, Lily?" "I need to find myself," I said. "I can't live a lie anymore." He wanted to stop me, but I could see in his eyes he knew he couldn't. Sometimes love means letting go, even when it breaks your heart. When I walked out that door, it felt like my soul was ripped in half. The air outside was cold, heavy, almost cruel. Every step felt like walking on thin ice. I didn't know where I was going. I only knew I had to go. Part 2. The Journey Alone. I took a bus to another town, far enough that no one would recognize me. The first nights away were the hardest. I rented a small room near the city park. I couldn't sleep. I only managed a cat nap now and then. My mind kept replaying every childhood memory, birthdays, laughter, hugs, all now tainted with lies. I told myself I'd cross that bridge when I came to it, but the bridge was already burning. Sometimes I'd see mothers and daughters laughing together, and my heart would ache. I tried not to cry over spilled milk, but pain doesn't listen to logic. I found work at a small cafe. The owner was kind but tough, the kind who'd tell lazy workers to shape up or ship out. I worked hard, pretending I was fine, but inside I was breaking. The people there were kind, but I was a shadow of my former self. I smiled on the outside, but inside I was falling apart at the seams. Every night I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, wondering if my parents were doing the same. I missed them terribly, but my pride got the better of me. I told myself I didn't need them. I told myself I was strong. But deep down, I knew I was crying over spilled milk, mourning something I had already lost. At night, loneliness crept in. I missed my father's quiet humming, my mother's warm soup. I'd scroll through my phone, tempted to call, but I couldn't. I had a bone to pick with them, and pride chained me down. Sometimes I'd remember how my father used to say, "You're my diamond, even if you're still a diamond in the rough." That memory made me weep. Days turned into weeks. I tried to make new friends, but I felt like an oddball, pretending to be cheerful when I was dying inside. One evening, a colleague, Tom, invited me to dinner. He was kind, always joking. I tried to smile, but he could tell something was off. "Still sitting on the fence about talking to them?" he asked. I sighed. "Yeah, I can't forgive them yet." He nodded. "You'll do it when your heart's ready. Don't rush it." He was right. Forgiveness can't be forced. It's easier said than done. Weeks turned into months. Life went on, but my heart didn't. The world outside looked normal, but inside, I was burning the candle at both ends, working hard during the day and crying silently at night. Sometimes when I made apple pie at the cafe, the smell would hit me like a ton of bricks. It reminded me of home, of her hands covered in flour, of his laughter echoing through the kitchen. And I would have to turn away, pretending something was in my eye. I kept telling myself, "You've made your bed, now lie in it." But the truth was, I wanted to go home. Yet something held me back: fear, pride, guilt. I didn't even know which. Winter came early that year. One night, I saw a little girl trip on the sidewalk. Her mother ran to help her, brushing the snow off her knees. That simple act made me break down in tears. I realized how much I missed my parents. For all their mistakes, they were still my family. Maybe they had played their cards close to their chest, but they'd done it out of love. I wrote a letter, but I didn't send it. I was afraid they wouldn't want to hear from me. I told myself if they cared, they'd call, but the phone never rang. Loneliness became my shadow. Sometimes I'd just walk by the river, whispering, "Maybe I deserve this." But one evening, as I watched the sunset, a thought struck me. What if they're hurting too? That idea took the wind out of my sails. I had been so angry that I forgot they were human too. One rainy evening, after closing the cafe, I sat alone by the window, watching raindrops race down the glass. My reflection looked tired, older. "Who are you, Lily?" I whispered. I realized then I had lost not only my parents but also myself. A few customers passed by, umbrellas in hand, laughing together. Their joy hit me where it hurt. I missed that feeling of belonging, of being part of something. That night, I opened my phone and scrolled through old pictures, birthdays, Christmas, vacations, my mom's smile, my dad's silly faces. Every image cut me to the core. I couldn't stop crying. I wanted to call them, but my hands froze. I was afraid they wouldn't forgive me for walking out. But more than that, I was afraid they had moved on without me. I whispered to the empty room, "I'm sorry." The words disappeared into the darkness. But somewhere, I believed my mother could still feel it, because love like that doesn't just fade away. Still, I stayed where I was, caught between the past and the present, between pride and pain. I told myself I'd return someday, but deep down, I knew that someday might never come unless I found the courage to face my heart. Days passed like shadows. Each one felt heavier than the last. I thought I could turn over a new leaf, start fresh, and live on my own terms. But life had other plans. The cafe became my world. I worked long hours, keeping my nose to the grindstone, trying to fill the emptiness inside me. But no matter how busy I stayed, my thoughts always came back to square one, home. Sometimes when an older couple came in holding hands, I'd bite my lip to keep from crying. I could almost hear my mother saying, "Lily, don't forget your scarf." And my father calling, "Hey, kiddo, how about a movie tonight?" Those memories hit me like a train. Part 3. The moment I realized real love. One rainy afternoon, a new customer began coming to the cafe every day. A quiet man named Evan. He had kind eyes and a charming smile that could melt ice. He always sat by the window, reading, and soon we began talking. At first, he made me laugh. He'd say things like, "You've got a heart of gold, Lily," and I'd blush like a schoolgirl. For the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe again. Weeks passed, and we started spending more time together. He'd walk me home after work, bring me flowers, and whisper sweet things that made my heart skip a beat. I thought maybe, just maybe, life was finally turning the corner for me. But one evening, I saw him in the cafe with another woman, holding her hand, laughing the same way he used to laugh with me. My stomach dropped. When our eyes met, he looked away, pretending not to know me. That moment hit me like a ton of bricks. My chest tightened. My breath caught. I stepped outside, trying to hold back my tears, but my emotions got the best of me. I felt like the ground had been pulled out from under my feet. The next day he came back, acting as if nothing had happened. I asked him, "Who was she?" He shrugged and said, "Don't make a big deal out of it, Lily. We were never serious." Those words cut me to the bone. I realized I had been chasing shadows, confusing attention for affection, charm for care. That night, I sat alone on my bed, hugging my pillow. My tears came like rain. "Maybe I'm not meant to be loved," I whispered, but then something inside me clicked. I thought of my parents, how they had bent over backward to give me everything, how they had stuck by me through thick and thin, how they had kept the home fires burning even when life got hard. Evan's love had been like a candle in the wind, brief and weak. But my parents' love? It had been a steady flame all along, even when I tried to snuff it out. I realized then that you don't know what you've got until it's gone. They had loved me not because of what I did, but because of who I was, their daughter. I realized that family isn't about blood. It's about love, laughter, and the little things that keep the heart beating. But at the time, I was too stubborn to admit it. My pride was standing in my own way. One night, my coworker Anna noticed my red eyes. "Rough day?" she asked gently. I shrugged. "Just tired," but the truth was, I was at the end of my rope. I had been pretending to be strong for so long that my strength had run out of steam. That night, I dreamt of my mother. She was standing in the kitchen, smiling at me. "Come home, sweetheart," she said softly. When I woke up, tears were streaming down my face. It felt so real. For the first time in months, I decided to write them a letter. I poured my heart out, the anger, the confusion, the guilt. I told them I felt like a bird with a broken wing, lost and unable to fly. I apologized for walking away, for letting pride get the upper hand. But when I finished writing, I couldn't mail it. I tore it up and threw it away. My heart wasn't ready yet. Winter came. The nights were long and cold. One evening, when the cafe heater broke down, we all huddled near the counter, drinking coffee to stay warm. I laughed with the others, but inside I felt cold as stone. I missed my parents so much that it hurt to breathe. I thought about calling them for Christmas, but I was afraid my voice would give me away, that they'd hear my tears before I even said hello. Then one morning, I received a letter. It was from my father. My hands trembled as I opened it. "Dear Lily," it began, "we miss you more than words can say. Your mom hasn't been herself. Every day she looks out the window, hoping to see you coming up the road. No matter what, this will always be your home. Please come back when your heart is ready. Love, Dad." I couldn't hold back anymore. My tears came like a flood. That letter hit me right between the eyes, a reminder that love never stops waiting. But still, I hesitated. Something inside whispered, "You don't deserve their love anymore." I felt like a lost cause, like someone who had burned all her bridges. I tried to pull myself together, but my emotions were all over the place. I worked, smiled, and pretended to move on, but inside, I was living in the past. Then one afternoon, I saw an old couple crossing the street. A man was helping his wife with her cane, holding her hand tightly. She smiled up at him with such tenderness that my heart melted like wax. I couldn't take it anymore. I wiped my tears and whispered, "Enough is enough." It was time to go home. Part 4. The dawn after the storm. The journey back felt endless. Every mile felt like a step back in time. My heart was pounding and my thoughts were racing. What if they don't want me anymore? I thought. What if I'm too late? When the bus finally reached my hometown, everything looked smaller, quieter. The streets I once walked on felt like memories frozen in time. As I walked up the familiar road, I saw the house, the little white fence, the old oak tree, the flowers my mom loved. My legs felt weak. I saw my mother sitting on the porch, a blanket around her shoulders. Her hair looked grayer, her face thinner. When she saw me, she froze. For a second, neither of us moved. The world seemed to stand still. Then she got up, slowly, then faster. Tears filled her eyes. She ran to me, calling my name. Lily. When she hugged me, I felt everything. Love, pain, forgiveness, all at once. It was like a dam had broken inside me. I couldn't stop crying. "I'm so sorry," I whispered into her shoulder. She shook her head, smiling through tears. "You have nothing to be sorry for. You were always ours." My father came out then, wiping his hands on a towel. When he saw me, his jaw dropped. "Look who's finally home," he said softly, his voice trembling. We hugged, and for the first time in so long, I felt whole again. That night, we sat together by the fireplace. No one said much. We didn't need to. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Later, my mother brought out an apple pie. The same smell that once broke me now healed me. I took a bite, and for the first time in months, I smiled, a real smile. I realized then that family isn't about where you come from. It's about who stays when the world falls apart. I had left to find myself, but in the end, I found them. Because love, when it's real, will stand the test of time. Months later, I often sit by the same window where I once cried. I think about how life twists in unexpected ways. Sometimes I laugh, remembering my foolish pride. Sometimes I still ache, but now I know that family isn't only about blood. It's about love, forgiveness, and finding your way home. I've learned that there's no need to air your dirty laundry for the world to see. Healing happens quietly. I've learned that no matter how broken we are, we can still pull out all the stops to make things right. And sometimes you have to lose everything to find what truly matters. And most of all, I've learned that even if life knocks you down, you can always stand again. Because the heart, like a cat, has 9 lives, and love? Love never runs out of pocket.
Now it's time to explain the idioms from the story, one by one, with simple meanings and examples for your better understanding. 1. Cool cat, meaning a relaxed, confident person. Example: Jake never gets nervous. He's a real cool cat. 2. Nutty as a fruitcake, meaning very silly or slightly crazy. Example: everyone thought old Mr. Benson was nutty as a fruitcake because he talked to his plants every morning, but he said they grew better when he did. 3. Take it easy, meaning relax, don't worry. Example, you've been working all day, take it easy tonight. 4. Good things take time, meaning be patient. Valuable results need time. Example, don't rush your dream, good things take time. 5. Ring a bell, meaning sound familiar or remind someone of something. Example, that name rings a bell, but I can't remember where I heard it. 6. Under wraps, meaning kept secret. Example, the new project is still under wraps. 7. Jump out of one's skin, meaning be extremely shocked or scared. Example, I almost jumped out of my skin when the balloon popped. 8. Turn upside down, meaning change completely. Example, her life turned upside down after she lost her job. 9. Saved by the skin of one's teeth, meaning barely escape something bad. Example, he passed the test by the skin of his teeth. 10. Hit like thunder, meaning shock suddenly or strongly. Example, his sudden breakup hit her like thunder. 11. Fish out of water, meaning feel uncomfortable or out of place. Example, I felt like a fish out of water at that fancy party. 12. Play one's cards close to one's chest, meaning keep one's plans or feelings secret. Example, he always plays his cards close to his chest at work. 13. Clean bill of health, meaning a report showing everything is fine or healthy. Example, after the checkup, she got a clean bill of health. 14. Take the wind out of one's sails, meaning make someone lose confidence or enthusiasm. Example, her criticism really took the wind out of my sails. 15. Stab in the back, meaning betrayal by someone trusted. Example, it felt like a stab in the back when he lied to me. 16. Tear in two, meaning emotionally divided between two choices. Example, she was torn in two between love and duty. 17. Keep a stiff upper lip, meaning stay brave and don't show emotion. Example, he kept a stiff upper lip during the funeral. 18. Rip in half, meaning deep emotional pain or conflict. Example, her heart felt ripped in half when he left. 19. Walk on thin ice, meaning be in a risky or dangerous situation. Example, you're walking on thin ice talking to the boss that way. 20. Cat nap, meaning a very short sleep. Example, I took a quick cat nap before the meeting. 21. Cross that bridge when I come to it, meaning deal with a problem only when it happens. Example, I don't know how I'll afford college yet, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. 22. Cry over spilled milk, meaning regret something that can't be changed. Example, it's no use crying over spilled milk. 23. Shape up or ship out, meaning improve your behavior or leave. Example, the coach told the players to shape up or ship out. 24. A shadow of one's former self, meaning much weaker or sadder than before. Example, after the accident, he was a shadow of his former self. 25. Fall apart at the seams, meaning collapse emotionally or physically. Example, she fell apart at the seams after hearing the news. 26. Get the better of someone, meaning gain advantage or control over someone. Example, his anger got the better of him. 27. A bone to pick with someone, meaning have something to argue about. Example, I've got a bone to pick with you about yesterday. 28. Diamond in the rough, meaning someone with great potential beneath roughness. Example, she's a diamond in the rough, just needs guidance. 29. Sit on the fence, meaning avoid making a decision. Example, he's still sitting on the fence about the proposal. 30. Easier said than done, meaning hard to do even if it sounds easy. Example, quitting sugar is easier said than done. 31. Burn the candle at both ends, meaning work too hard without rest. Example, you'll burn out if you keep burning the candle at both ends. 32. Hit someone like a ton of bricks, meaning affect someone suddenly and strongly. Example, the truth hit me like a ton of bricks. 33. Made your bed, now lie in it, meaning accept the results of your actions. Example, you spent all your money on that expensive car, and now you can't pay rent. Well, you've made your bed, now lie in it. 34. Turn over a new leaf, meaning start fresh, change for the better. Example, after getting a new job and moving to a new city, Sarah decided to turn over a new leaf and start living a healthier life. 35. Keep one's nose to the grindstone, meaning work hard for a long time. Example, she kept her nose to the grindstone to meet the deadline. 36. Back to square one, meaning start again after failure. Example, our plan failed, we're back to square one. 37. Hit someone like a train, meaning affect someone powerfully and suddenly. Example, the news of his death hit her like a train. 38. Heart of gold, meaning kind and generous person. Example, she has a heart of gold, always helping others. 39. Skip a beat, meaning feel excitement or nervousness. Example, my heart skipped a beat when she smiled at me. 40. Turn the corner, meaning start to recover or improve. Example, after months of struggle, she finally turned the corner. 41. Get the best of someone, meaning overcome or defeat someone. Example, her emotions got the best of her. 42. Ground pulled out from under one's feet, meaning sudden loss or shock. Example, when he left, it felt like the ground was pulled from under my feet. 43. Make a big deal of it, meaning exaggerate or overreact. Example, don't make a big deal of it, it's just a mistake. 44. Cut to the bone, meaning hurt very deeply. Example, his words cut me to the bone. 45. Chase shadows, meaning waste time pursuing something unreal. Example, he's been chasing shadows trying to find the truth. 46. Bend over backward, meaning try very hard to help. Example, she bent over backward to make him happy. 47. Through thick and thin, meaning in good and bad times. Example, they stayed together through thick and thin. 48. Keep the home fires burning, meaning keep warmth, love, or hope alive at home. Example, she kept the home fires burning while he was away. 49. Candle in the wind, meaning fragile or easily lost. Example, her hope was like a candle in the wind. 50. Snuff it out, meaning extinguish or end something. Example, one cruel word can snuff out someone's dreams. 51. Don't know what you've got until it's gone, meaning realize value after losing it. Example, after their breakup, Tom realized how much he missed Anna. He finally understood that you don't know what you've got until it's gone. 52. Stand in one's own way, meaning be the reason for one's own problems. Example, she keeps standing in her own way to success. 53. End of my rope, meaning out of strength or patience. Example, I'm at the end of my rope with this project. 54. Run out of steam, meaning lose energy or motivation. Example, he started strong but ran out of steam halfway. 55. A bird with a broken wing, meaning someone hurt or emotionally damaged. Example, she was like a bird with a broken wing after the breakup. 56. Get the upper hand, meaning gain control or advantage. Example, the company finally got the upper hand in the deal. 57. Cold as stone, meaning emotionless or unfeeling. Example, he stood there, cold as stone, not saying a word. 58. Hit right between the eyes, meaning shock or impress strongly. Example, her words hit me right between the eyes. 59. Lost cause, meaning something hopeless or impossible. Example, trying to change him is a lost cause. 60. Burn all one's bridges, meaning destroy all chances of going back. Example, he burned all his bridges when he quit angrily. 61. Pull oneself together, meaning regain control of emotions. Example, stop crying, pull yourself together. 62. All over the place, meaning disorganized, scattered, or confused. Example, my thoughts were all over the place. 63. Live in the past, meaning keep thinking about old memories instead of moving on. Example, he can't find happiness because he lives in the past. 64. Enough is enough, meaning I won't tolerate any more. Example, enough is enough, I'm leaving this job. 65. Stand still, meaning time seems to stop, figurative. Example, for a moment, time stood still when I saw him. 66. Dam had broken, meaning emotions were finally released. Example, when she cried, it was like the dam had broken. 67. Stand the test of time, meaning last for a very long time. Example, true love stands the test of time. 68. Air your dirty laundry, meaning make private problems public. Example, don't air your dirty laundry on social media. 69. Pull out all the stops, meaning try your hardest or use every effort. Example, they pulled out all the stops for the wedding. 70. 9 lives, meaning survive many dangers or have many chances. Example, he's like a cat with 9 lives, always escapes trouble. 71. Out of pocket, meaning humorous use, lacking something, often money or love, in a creative sense. Example, even when I'm out of pocket, my heart is still full. Thank you for listening to this emotional story. I hope it touched your heart and helped you understand idioms in a deeper, more beautiful way. Remember, English isn't just about grammar and words. It's about feelings, stories, and the journey of life itself. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to Learn English Road, where learning English is not just easy, it's meaningful. And stay tuned, Part 7 is coming soon, with even more idioms, more emotion, and more lessons from the heart.